Hello everyone, how are you doing? Today I'm gonna show you a new impression of the 79th Infantry Division, 313th Infantry Regiment for the Battle of Parroy, or the Battle of the Forêt de Parroy, starting on September 25th till October 21st of 1944. The forest was located in northeastern France, and the division took very heavy casualties, and the battle itself was a very tough one, but nonetheless they weren't allowed any rest after, and they had to continue on with their campaign. So here you see the basic layout of the entire impression. I'm gonna start with the uniforms and then continue my way on. Okay, so for the uniforms, I have a general idea about what they would have worn most of the time, but for the specific battle in the Forêt de Parroy, there isn't a whole lot of footage to go base your impression on, so I went with what I could see most of the time and what they had previous to the battle. So we're gonna start with the underwear. We have a tank top, standard issue, green, with yeah, of course, the dog tags that every soldier would have, and you would have some underwear obviously as well. Then next up you would have the wool pants, the M1937 type. So yeah, these are originals, and you would see these sometimes being worn just as the only pants, but most of the time they would wear HBTs on top. On it I have this grenade ring, by the way, and a belt. So yeah, that's just a standard pair of pants. Next up you would wear the shirt, standard M1937 model. Yeah, this was, you can't see this on the pictures, but you know, everyone had it, so you can go and base, or you can be pretty sure they wore these like everyone else. So yeah, anyways, this is the standard shirt, the late war version, so it has the green buttons. These were introduced, I think, somewhere in 1943. So yeah, this is correct for the time. And above that you could wear a variety of things. What I saw most was, you know, the M41, which we'll get to in a second, but also the HBT jacket. I saw it in footages of artillerymen, but I'm not sure whether or not everybody wore it, so I've not included it in this video just because I'm not sure. But what they could have worn though is a sweater. The weather started to get colder, so a sweater would be very useful. Underneath the shirt you can see it being worn, or above it. So this is also an original one. And next up I'm gonna go here. The HBT trousers were seen a lot, not with the jacket in most cases as I've seen, but the trousers themselves were seen a lot. Yeah, so these are very useful to wear, and they protect your wool trousers. And then pretty much the pretty much the only jacket you'll see is the M41. It looks like the M43s were not issued yet to the division. October is the month where this transition started being made, but with the 79th, it doesn't look like they got them in that month. So yeah, this is the only jacket you see. It is patched. Not every soldier did it in the division, but quite a lot of them did. It also has corporal ranks. In the pockets I just keep a grenade and some ammunition or nothing, and inside of it I have an inner pocket sewn in, which I just use to carry my Bible, which is, you know, something most soldiers would have had. This is also an original. So that was it for the uniforms. Let's now move on to the equipment. Okay, so then for the boots, you see pretty much only, there might be some footage of it, but I haven't seen anything else than the roughouts with leggings. Yeah, this is probably the same as with the M43 jacket. They just didn't arrive yet, so the double buckles, I'm speaking of them. But yeah, so they didn't have the double buckles yet, so this is the only thing you see, or as far as I know, this is the only thing you see. So yeah, this is just the standard roughouts with the leggings on top of them. Okay, so for the equipment, you see a variety of things. You see a lot, but also you don't see, you know, enough to really get it spot on. I had to base myself on some, you know, vague images, so yeah, I'm trying to do my best here. You know, if you had the grand issue, you would have just your standard belt and equipment for it. So yeah, this is an original M1923 cartridge belt. On it is an M43 shovel. These are seen most of the time. I haven't seen actually anyone with a M1910 shovel. The OD7 cover would be common during that time of the year, so not a lot of OD3s were ever issued. So yeah, this is completely correct. First aid pouch on the back, which is the place I've seen it worn most. The canteen, original canteen inside, the cover is not original. A bayonet, I've seen some guys have them, some didn't, so it's up to you what you like. So that's it for the belt setup. It's pretty basic, and one thing that is quite special for the division is the way they use suspenders. So some of them use regular ones, but not all of them. The division used the backpacks pretty heavily, so the haversacks, the M1928 haversacks were used by the division really often, in combat or not in combat. They wore them a lot, but what you also see done is that the haversack would be cut apart right here. So they would cut like this part out of it, so you just have the suspenders left, and they would wear it like that. So the entire backpack is gone and they just have self-made suspenders. So yeah, that's a pretty special thing to see. I don't have an example of it right now, but yeah, it's not too hard to imagine. And behind it they would tuck like their blanket or their coat, whatever they needed. So yeah, but a lot of guys also just wore the backpack as is. Some guys wore GP bags. They weren't seen incredibly often, but you know, some guys had them if they needed them for ammunition or something. Next up, the helmet. The 79th had nets specifically for their division, which were the spider nets, but those are pretty much phased out by that point. I haven't seen any of them. What I see most of the time are just plain helmets, no netting at all. So yeah, this is a McCord helmet from 1942, April 1942, with a Westinghouse liner. So yeah, correct for the time. And the last piece of equipment would be a rifle, of course. So this is just a standard M1 Grand. Nothing too special about it. Canvas sling. These were starting to being seen from Normandy on, and I find them way more useful than the other ones. So yeah, this video was pretty short, but yeah, I don't think I've missed anything. If you have any questions, leave them down below and I'll try and answer them. Hope you liked the video, and I'll see you in the next one.